Welcome, I'm Lorrie, and today we're going to do a short and sweet yoga class to help with your immune system. So we're going to be focusing on getting your lymph moving. We'll be doing poses to do that. And to start, you can just take a comfortable seat. If you'd like to sit up on a cushion or a block, you can do that. You can also just lie down if you want to, if you're in phase one or phase two and you're just having a lying down phase or day. You can certainly do that. Close your eyes. Don't try to control your breath or change your breath right now. Just being aware of it. And if that's uncomfortable for you to be aware of the breath, then you can bring your attention to the area just below your belly button and inside your body. Gently set your intention for this class. That can be something very broad, like to release, to soften, to bathe in a sea of calm. And as you set that intention, do it very lightly, just like the touch of butterfly wings. And then you let that butterfly go. You release your intention. Slowly blink your eyes open. And we're going to work up the body. We're going to start on our backs. If you have a block, you might want to get that, or you can certainly use pillows. Again, you can be in your bed for this whole practice, actually. So the first pose is legs up the wall. Now, when you have things like long COVID and ME/CFS, you can't always do things like standing forward folds or handstands or headstands or things like that. So this is a wonderful inversion you can do. And just have your block close by. You don't need to be super close to the wall, or if you're in your bed, maybe you're the head of your bed. You're just going to bring your feet up against the wall or the other surface. If you'd like to, you can make it so that your hips are lifted by putting either block or a pillow underneath your hips. And you might have to do a few movements. So if you're in phase one, then I just recommend not messing with the block or lifting the hips at all. And bring your feet up against the wall. Since we are paying attention to the lymph nodes, you're going to bring your arms out wide so that we can open up those lymph nodes under the arms. There's an option here as well to take your legs wide, but that does require some strength to keep them from just flopping down. So you might want to keep them just straight up against the wall. We're going to do this in a bit of a yin approach. So I'm going to be quiet here for a few minutes while you hold the pose. If you find your mind wandering, that's fine. Just bring your attention either back to your breath or back to that space in your body, right underneath your belly button. Wherever you are right now, slowly bring your feet down. And if you have a block or a pillow underneath you, remove that. You might need to move away from the wall a little bit for this next thing, just kind of inchworming yourself very gently, right? Slow movements here the whole time. Your feet are about hip width apart. You can keep your arms out wide. And let's drop the knees over from side to side. Windshield wipers here. So again, focusing here on those lymph nodes that are in the hip creases, that area. Maybe take a deep breath in and just sigh it out. Coming back to center and slowly, gently roll to one side. Lovingly press yourself up to a seated position. We're going to come into Gomukhasana. And I love this position and I hate it sometimes at the same time. So start out with one of your legs with your knee pointing forward. This is your bottom leg. Your heel you can bring in towards your hip. And then your other leg, you're gonna try to stack your other knee, your top knee, on top of the left knee. Now, if this is not happening right now, you are not alone, first of all. You might want to sit up on a block to make this work, or a pillow or several pillows, and that's fine. You can also just separate your knees a little bit, or if you'd like to still stack the knees one on top of each other, just place a block in between the knees here. So generally speaking, the closer you bring your heels to your hips, the easier the pose is going to be. The further out you bring your heels from your hips, the more difficult. So again, we're getting into those lymph nodes in the hip creases. And we're also going to do Gomukhasana arms. Oh, the reason that I like this pose is because Gomukhasana means cow face, which I think is hilarious. So take your opposite arm from the top leg. So in my case, I have my right leg on top. I'm going to take my left arm up over my head. Right arm comes behind you. And then you're going to reach your hands towards each other. They may or may not touch. If they do, that's fine. And if they don't, that's fine too. Push your head back into your left arm or your top arm. Your right shoulder pulls up and back, left shoulder up and back, lower ribs pull in, and chin pulls back. And again, we're just going to stay here. You can close your eyes. If your arms, if that's too much for you right now, which is totally understandable, just release your arms. The arms are really more a phase 3, phase 4 variation, maybe phase 2. And if you're still holding your arms, you can release your arms. Bring those legs out in front of you straight and just move them up and down. And then we're going to do the other side here. So the other leg, the leg that was just on the top, now goes on the bottom. You know the drill by now. And then your other leg goes on top with those, what do you call these things? Knees, stacked one on top of the other. And again, if you want to be sitting on a block or pillows, that'll give you a little more height to open up your hips a little more. Or if you want to put something in between your knees. For the arms, your opposite arm from the top leg goes up overhead. The other arm comes behind. You're going to reach for the hand. Again, if that doesn't happen, that's fine. If it does happen, that's fine. It's more about being present within the pose. So pull those lower ribs in. And we say that because a lot of times when the arms are in this kind of pose, we tend to flare our lower ribs out. So for our alignment, we tuck the chin, press the head into that top arm, if you're doing the arms here. So we're getting the lower lymph nodes with the legs, and we're getting the lymph nodes that are under the arms with this particular arm pose. If you're not doing the arms, you can just rest your hands by your side, that's fine. I'm going to be quiet now. And release your arms. Bring both legs out in front of you. And let's shake out the legs again. Find a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. If that means sitting up on some pillows or a block, that's great. Just take an easy seat. And we're going to do a pose for your neck lymph nodes now. So to start with, just drop your head towards one shoulder. Pull your chin back just a bit so that your head is in line. If you'd like to, if it feels good to you, take the hand of the way that your head is dropped, that same side, and just very gently add some weight, just the teeniest little bit. Also focus on lengthening. So we don't want to crunch the neck here, we're lengthening. And release. Bring your head back to center. Swivel from left to right. Back to center. Nod up and down very slowly. Back to center. And then drop your ear towards the shoulder to the other side. Now, just like with Gomukhasana, you may notice that one side is very different than the other. Again, pulling the chin back slightly so the head is in line. It's not dropped down, it's not lifting up. And then if it sounds like a good idea to you, place the hand on the head, just very gently adding some weight to it. And release, bringing your head back to center, nodding up and down very gently. Back to center, and right to left, drawing a half circle in the air with your nose. Coming back to center and setting up for your Shavasana. For this, you might want to put some blankets on top of you. Maybe place a bolster or some pillows or a blanket rolled up underneath your knees. Legs are wide apart. And for this particular Shavasana, since we're focusing on lymph nodes today, you're going to bring your arms up overhead as long as that feels comfortable for you. So again, we're opening up these lymph nodes under the arms. If that's not comfortable for you, then just bring your arms by your side, just like usual. And I'd like for you to take this Shavasana as long as you'd like to. So we're going to wrap up here. Before I leave you, I want for you to really give yourself a lot of love for taking this time for yourself, for doing this practice. Even though it might be a fraction of what you used to do or what you'd like to do, know that every little bit counts. These baby steps, this practice in and of itself, or even just one of these positions, one of these poses, even if it's just this Shavasana pose, that doing that deliberately means you're moving in the right direction. You're taking those steps on that healing path for yourself.